Welcome to my channel, The Human Frontier. The first time I heard her name, I was knee-deep in engine grease on the outer docks of Arcanis Station. They say she burned a moon just to prove a point, one of the cargo pilots whispered. They say she doesn't blink, another muttered. Not even when fleets surrender. Her name was Commander Vilara Kor, the Iron Wraith of the Outer Spiral. Supreme Tactician. Conqueror of 12 systems. The woman whose shadow passed over planets like an eclipse. The galaxy feared her. I didn't expect to ever see her. I was a maintenance technician, third class, unremarkable, invisible. My life was simple: repair damaged freighters, recalibrate jump drives, keep my head down. Wars were things that happened far beyond my viewport. Legends belonged to holoscreens and military broadcasts. Until the night her warship docked at Arcanis. It arrived without announcement, a black spear sliding out of hyperspace, swallowing starlight. The station fell silent as her flagship latched onto dock ring 7. No fanfare. No diplomatic greeting. Just a quiet, mechanical certainty. Rumors spread fast. She was here for repairs. She was here to execute a traitor. She was here because someone had dared defy her. None of us expected the summons to come for me. 2 armored soldiers appeared at my workstation an hour after the docking clamps sealed. Their armor bore the insignia of the Obsidian Dominion, Valara's personal fleet. "You are Technician Rylan Marek?" one asked. My throat tightened. "Yes. You will bring your tools." That was all. They escorted me through corridors cleared of civilians. Even station security avoided eye contact. When we reached dock ring 7, I saw the flagship up close. It wasn't merely large, it was precise. Every angle deliberate, every surface seamless and dark as void stone. Inside, the air felt colder. They led me through silent hallways lit by pale blue strips. Crew members moved with disciplined efficiency, but their expressions were strained. Not fearful, controlled. As if they were all holding something back. We stopped before a sealed chamber. The soldiers stepped aside. "Enter," one said. The doors slid open. Commander Vilara Kor stood alone at the center of the room. She was taller than I expected, clad not in armor but in a simple dark uniform. Her hair, silver white, fell over one shoulder. Her eyes were sharp, almost luminous, assessing me with unsettling calm. The stories hadn't exaggerated her presence. She carried silence like a weapon. "You are the technician assigned to this station's quantum arrays," she said. Her voice was smooth. Controlled. "Yes, Commander." She studied me for a long moment. "My flagship's core has suffered irregularities." I blinked. Irregularities? A cascade fluctuation in the gravitational stabilizers. My engineers cannot isolate the origin. That didn't make sense. Her fleet employed the best minds in the Dominion. "Why me?" I asked before I could stop myself. Her gaze sharpened, but not with anger. "Because," she said, "you once published a correction to the Dominion's standard stabilizer algorithm." My stomach dropped. That paper had been a hobby project. A theoretical improvement I'd shared anonymously on a mechanics forum years ago. "You read that?" "I read everything that might one day threaten me," she replied evenly. It wasn't arrogance. It was fact. She stepped closer. "And tonight, Technician Marek, something is threatening me." The words hung in the air. The galaxy feared her. But something frightened her enough to summon a civilian mechanic. She led me deeper into the ship, to the core chamber. The quantum heart of the flagship pulsed in a sphere of swirling light, suspended in a lattice of magnetic rings. Normally, such a core hummed with stable resonance. This one stuttered. Tiny fluctuations rippled across its surface like spasms. "When did it begin?" I asked, forcing myself into professional focus. 3 days ago, she said. After the siege of Telvaris. I'd heard of Telvaris. A rebel stronghold obliterated in hours. I activated my scanner. Data cascaded across my display. The readings were wrong. Not damaged. Altered. This isn't mechanical failure, I said slowly. Explain. The stabilizers are compensating for something external. A signal. Her expression didn't change, but I saw it. A flicker. Source. Inside the core. Silence. That is impossible, she said quietly. Unless something is embedded in the quantum matrix. I adjusted my scanner's frequency. There. A pulse. Faint but deliberate. A pattern. It wasn't random fluctuation. It was a message. You've been infiltrated, I said. Her jaw tightened. By whom? I don't know yet. She stepped closer to the core, watching the pulses. For the first time, her composure seemed strained. If it destabilizes, she said, the core will collapse into a microsingularity. And take half the fleet with it, I finished. And the station, she added. My pulse spiked. Why hasn't it detonated already? It is waiting, she said. For what? Her eyes met mine. For me. The realization hit like a physical blow. The signal wasn't random sabotage. It was keyed to her biosignature. A delayed execution triggered when she entered proximity. Who knew your return vector from Telvaris? I asked. Only my inner council. And how many of them survived Telvaris? Her silence was answer enough. Betrayal. The most dangerous weapon in any galaxy. We need to isolate the signal, I said. But if we cut power abruptly, it'll trigger the collapse. Then we do not cut power, she replied. We outmaneuver it. For the first time, I saw why fleets feared her. Even facing annihilation, her mind was calculating. What if we give it what it wants? I said suddenly. She raised an eyebrow. It's waiting for your proximity. Your biosignature. If we simulate that trigger artificially, maybe we can force it to reveal its final protocol before it's ready. You are suggesting we bait the trap? Yes. A long pause. You would remain here, she said. If it works, yes. And if it fails? I swallowed. Then we won't have time to worry about it. She studied me again, not as a subordinate. As a variable. Why? She asked quietly. Why risk yourself for me? I hesitated. Because despite the stories, she wasn't a monster. She was a commander bearing the weight of a brutal universe. Because no one deserved to be executed by treachery. Because if this ship exploded, thousands would die. Because it's the right thing, I said. Something in her expression shifted, subtle but unmistakable. Very well, she said. We proceed. We worked side by side. I configured the scanner to mimic her bioelectric patterns. She accessed command protocols, preparing containment fields. As the simulation initiated, the core's pulse intensified. The hidden signal reacted. Data flared across my display. There. I shouted. A countdown sequence emerged, encrypted but decipherable. Can you halt it? She asked. Not directly. But I can reroute the stabilizers to absorb the surge if you manually override the fleet link. That will sever my control. For a few minutes. She didn't hesitate. Do it. The room trembled as energy spiked. The core blazed brighter, the countdown accelerating. I rerouted power through auxiliary conduits, hands flying across controls. The final protocol revealed itself. A remote confirmation ping waiting for acknowledgement from an external source. The traitors still watching, I realized. From where? She demanded. I traced the signal origin. Not Telvaris. Not the fleet. Arcanis Station. My blood ran cold. They planted it here, I said, using the station's relay to mask the signal. She activated her comm security teams. Lock down Relay Hub 3 immediately. Acknowledgements crackled back. The countdown hit 10 seconds. I need more time, I shouted. She stepped forward, closer to the core than safety permitted. What are you doing? I yelled. If the device requires my signature, she said, voice steady, then I will deny it. She removed her command insignia and slammed it into the control console, initiating a genetic scramble protocol. Her biosignature fractured into randomized patterns. The core flickered. The confirmation ping failed. Countdown paused. I rerouted the stabilizers one final time and injected a feedback loop into the relay signal. The embedded code destabilized, collapsing inward, dissolving into harmless static. The core steadied. Silence returned. We stood there, breathing hard, staring at the now calm sphere of light. It's over, I whispered. Her comm activated again. Commander, Relay Hub 3 secured. We apprehended a Dominion officer attempting to transmit encrypted confirmation codes. Her eyes darkened. Detain him, she said. Alive. She ended the channel. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. You saved my fleet, she said finally. We saved it, I corrected. She looked at me differently now. Not as a tool. Not as a civilian. As an equal. The galaxy fears me, she said quietly. It believes I am unstoppable. I managed a faint smile. Tonight, you weren't. No, she agreed. Tonight, I needed you. The words carried weight. Outside the viewport, Arcanis Station drifted peacefully, unaware of how close it had come to annihilation. What happens now? I asked. I root out the rot within my ranks, she said. I ensure no one mistakes mercy for weakness. That sounded like the Vilara core of legend. But then she added, and I amend my records. Amend them? She met my gaze. Your algorithm correction. It was not merely clever. It was brilliant. I felt heat rise to my face. I will require someone capable of seeing flaws others miss, she continued. Someone unafraid to speak. You're offering me a position? I am offering you purpose. Arcanis Station suddenly felt very small. You realize, I said carefully, people will think I'm mad. Perhaps, she said. Or perhaps they will learn that even legends require allies. I looked once more at the stabilized core, at the ship that had terrified star systems. Then I looked at her. The galaxy feared her. But that night, in the cold glow of a quantum heart, she had stood on the edge of destruction and trusted a mechanic to pull her back. I'll come, I said. A faint smile touched her lips, the first crack in the Iron Wraith's armor. Prepare your belongings, she said. We depart at dawn. As I left the core chamber, escorted not as a prisoner but as a guest, I realized something profound. Legends are not invincible. They are human, or whatever their species may be, beneath the armor and titles. And sometimes, the most powerful person in the galaxy doesn't need another weapon. They need someone willing to stand beside them when the silence grows too heavy. When dawn broke over Arcanis, the black flagship detached from the station and slipped into hyperspace. This time, I was aboard. And somewhere in the vast, uncertain dark between stars, Commander Vilara Kor, Terror of Fleets, Breaker of Rebellions, began rewriting her empire. Not alone. But with someone who had seen her at her most vulnerable and stayed. Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more cinematic science fiction stories.